Good afternoon. I'm Jackie. I'm coming to you in regards to the recent Jason Stockley verdict. He just got the verdict today that he was not guilty. The judge in the case says that he is an objective judge, meaning that he did not let his decision be influenced by anyone or anything other than what he feels in himself to be the law. And so Jason Stockley is what? He is innocent for killing Lamar. Lamar is an individual who was in his vehicle. This was around December 2011. It was on December 20th, 2011 that this took place. And so Stockley is charged with having planted a gun and having had a AK-47 and some other weapons in his vehicle that he was not supposed to be carrying because he's a police officer, and during duty, if I'm not mistaken, you're only supposed to or required to carry your police issued weapon. That's why Stockley resigned from the daggone force. But anyway, getting back to this recent verdict. Okay, so the judge states that he was objective in his verdict. But an objective statement wouldn't be a statement in regards to the case that says Lamar being a heroin addict is an anomaly. A subjective statement wouldn't have never even quoted or stated anything about him being a heroin addict. If you're going to be strictly objective, you're going to just stick to the point, this, that, and the other. When he started talking about him being a heroin addict, that makes him no longer objective. That makes him subjective. Subjective means that you're talking about that which is that person or whatever it is that you're speaking to or speaking of. And so now we have the protesters that's downtown. Many of them are just gathering. And it seems as if though it's going to be more as time comes along. But the situation here is really tense, and it should be. African Americans need to start uniting as a nation. Start saying that we are one people, just like every other nationality. Then we can work towards getting these laws changed. If you research the history of the police station in this country, the police were formed to track down runaway slaves. It's just as simple as that. It ain't no two ways of getting around it. And from that, you could track them down, and many, they were wanted dead or alive. But a lot of times you could use bodily harm, or you could use deadly force in order to bring these people back to their slave owners. So what is it psychologically? What does this mean? That today's police force, the members of the police force can use bodily harm, use deadly force in order to supposedly arrest an individual and get them back into their judicial system or the courts or whatever. And so that's how many of these police officers are getting off of murdering. These are murders. These are blatant on-camera murders. You would think that they are aware that they have a camera that's recording everything, so they're not going to, one, try to plant evidence. They're not going to be cussing and calling people all out of their names. They're not going to be fighting and hitting people once they get them subdued in their modern day chains, which are handcuffs. And so we as a people are going to have to stop it with all the gang banging, all the killing, all of the crimes against one another and against our communities, and start thinking how we can start looking at each other. You got to get this down in you psychologically. We have to start viewing ourselves as a nation. We are a nation. We are not united. And so, since we're not united, we don't think like a united front. A nation is united. You are a united, even a part of this country. This country is named the United States, meaning that the founding fathers, I don't see how you can find something that was already here, which, you know, that's a whole different story with the Native American ancestors and our Native American people. But we as black people, black Americans, are a nation within a nation. And therefore we have to view ourselves as a nation. We have to get it within our psyche. We have to psychologically say, yes, I represent you, my neighbor. I represent another black person that's over in California. I represent another black person that's over in Arizona. And we have to look out for each other's best interests. But here, in this case, in Missouri, Missouri has to start here. We had Mike Brown to be shot down in the streets, and the police officer, Darren Wilson, after he was acquitted, found not guilty, even went on to say that he lied. This police officer here, they refer to him during these live news reports now as like a Terminator. You know, he riding around with an AK-47 that was not even issued by the police force. I mean, and you're riding around in these urban neighborhoods. So what kind of psychological mindset does that put you in? You already know that if you feel threatened, if you feel threatened by any of these urbanites, any of these black people, that your job supports you in using deadly force. But this man, I really and truly do believe that he planted a handgun. That 38 that they found was planted in Lamar's car. The judge said you can't prove that. So what, from his objective point of view, which is really subjective, they just put the word objective out there, so subliminally to mess people up. You can think that, oh, the judge isn't, he isn't subjective. No, that's not the truth. He was subjective, and so he says, yeah, you're justified. This is a drug dealer. So you automatically go into Terminator mode, which that's what Stockley did. He went into Terminator mode, this urban drug dealer. I know he got a gun on him, so I'm going to kill this. They said, on the news, he says, I'm going to kill this blank. And you know what blank means. 9 times out of 10, the N-word was used. So we as a people, seriously, are going to have to start coming together, start in your home, start in your community. Bloods, Crips, the gangbangers, all the killers in Chicago and all over these United States need to stop the violence against one another. Start contacting organizations that are going to be conscious. We don't need any watered down organizations that's going to say that they're for the people and start accepting social programs and money to help pay utility bills and forget about the movement. We have had too many ancestors to die over here. Our ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears built this country. Yeah, these other immigrants can say that, yeah, they had a hand in it, but nobody had a hands down. Hands down, without a doubt, first priority, top building of this country's power and finances than the black Africans. Than our ancestors. So we owe it to our ancestors not to stand down on this. We cannot stand down on this. Do your history, do your research, read. You don't have to be violent. You don't have to be violent, even though sometimes violence begets violence. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. So people, do whatever it is that you can do to support everybody, support each other, but it needs to be branched from Missouri into every state in this union so that we can start being treated like the nation that we are. And it's going to begin with us. It's going to begin with us. And another thing, black police officers, black judges, black senators, aldermen, you people have hands on with these laws. It ain't no code when it comes to a person like Blue Code over the street. No, it ain't that, because that Blue Code was not originally meant to protect and serve your people. Signing out.